Hi, my name is Vanessa van Dijk, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use CeraVe's Blemish Control Gel, which is an exfoliating acid gel, as they're using glycolic and lactic acid. Those are AHAs that work on the skin surface to loosen the dead skin cells, as well as increasing hydration within the skin, and salicylic acid, which refers to BHA, and this one helps to unclog pores, has anti-inflammatory properties, and helps to regulate oiliness. And lastly, using a bit of niacinamide, which is a brightening ingredient in general. So if you have blemishes like reddish spots or brownish spots, this is usually what's being used to reduce them much faster, to lighten them up. And so overall, keep in mind this is a treatment, so it may help to reduce your acne, it helps to reduce your acne marks much faster, but depending on the cause of your acne, it's not going to completely stop it from reoccurring. So it's something that you can use to maintain it, to get it a bit more under control, and to have a more even complexion much faster. This would be kind of like the summary. Now, since it is an exfoliating acid gel, you can theoretically use it in the morning as well, but it would be ideal to use it in the evening. Still, what you have to keep in mind is the frequency. So not everyone tolerates the same frequency, therefore start off by using it 2 to 3 times per week, ideally again in your evening skincare routine. And then if you over time feel like you tolerate it well, you can either stick to that frequency, or if you want to use it more often, the next stage would be every other day. After that, again, after 2 to 3 weeks, you may want to use it more often, then you would use it daily. And then after that, you may want to use it twice per day daily. So you really have to test it, start off slowly so that you can figure out what works best for your skin tolerance. Overall, when it comes to a skincare routine, make sure that you're going to keep it simple so that you can avoid skin irritation with other treatments, especially when it comes to other leave-on exfoliating acid products. Avoid using them in the same routine. Same would apply to retinol or retinoids. Now, when thinking of using it in your morning skincare routine, you can see an example. Use ideally a non-exfoliating acid cleanser. It isn't really always a problem. Again, it just depends on your skin tolerance. Therefore, I'm just going to play it safe and go with non-exfoliating acid cleanser. After that, you would use the exfoliating acid gel, and then if needed, you can follow with a very lightweight moisturizer. You can see 2 examples right here. And then lastly, protect the skin with a good sunscreen. Again, ideally would be a mineral sunscreen if you have already acne-prone skin. So this would be an example of a morning skincare routine. If you're not planning on using it in the morning, you still can follow the same morning skincare routine, just skip the exfoliating acid gel. As for the evening, it can look pretty much the same, just without a sunscreen, and then your moisturizer is going to be your last step if you should feel the need. I put it there as an optional step, because if you feel like the gel on its own is already hydrating enough, you do not feel the need of using anything else afterwards, just leave it as it is. The simpler the better, and the more comfortable it's going to feel on the skin. But what you have to keep in mind is to properly remove your sunscreen and or makeup that you have worn throughout the day. So again, you can go ahead, especially when working with a mineral sunscreen, and doing a double cleanse, so using an oil or balm cleanser beforehand, then your regular cleanser if needed, and then do the rest of your evening skincare routine. And then there you have it. And again, the nights that you're not going to use the exfoliating acid gel, you're just going to skip it, but still continue with the rest of your skincare routine, or you may want to use other treatments instead, depending on your current skincare routine. But overall, this would be an example. If you want to go over it again in your own time, you will be able to download it in the description box down below. Now I want to keep my focus on the entire application. So I have the setup right here. I'm going to go with an evening skincare routine because it is ideal to use it in the evening, since exfoliating acids make the skin a bit more sensitive to the sun. And depending on the sunscreen that you may be using, at least from my experience, exfoliating acids and sunscreen in my case do not layer well. It always causes a bit of sensitivity. Therefore, I prefer to use them in the evening too. And so we're going to get started with the first step, which is going to be washing your face. So I'm going to now show you how you can properly wash the face, make sure that everything comes properly off the skin, and then we are heading into the exfoliating acid gel. So as an example, I'm going to use CeraVe's foaming cleanser. Make sure that you're choosing a cleanser that's suitable for your skin type. So again, if you have an oilier or blemish prone skin, then this would be one great example. And so we are going to get started with wetting the face. Then I'm going to use a bit of the cleanser, massaging it all over, and then we are going to properly rinse it off. So let's go ahead and do this. I like to use a soft microfiber washcloth in between to remove any last traces of the cleanser from the skin, especially when I'm washing my face above the sink. And now go ahead and take a clean towel and pat the skin dry. Now once you're done with washing your face, you can immediately now move on to the blemish control gel. However, depending on your skin, if you may have a bit more of a sensitive skin, you can also wait between 5 to 10 minutes in between, wait for your skin to dry even further, and then move on to the blemish control gel. This way you can really reduce any sensitivity. So try it both ways and see what works best for you. Now when it comes to the blemish control gel, since it is a type like a gel zone type of finish, so it's a bit runnier, I recommend using between a pea size to a bean size amount depending on how large your face is. So generally speaking, you can use it only on an affected area. So I have my blemishes right here on the forehead, so I can just use a tiny amount, just use it on the forehead. Or, depending on your issues, like overall concerns, you can use it over your entire face and maybe your neck as well, if that's one of your concerns as well. So I'm just going to use a tiny amount for my forehead, just to give you an example. So not much. You can see it's quite runny, but still has a gel type texture. And you should use then enough so that you can cover the entire area that you want to treat. Just a very even and thin layer. Please do not overdo it. The more product you are using, the more you can increase the risk of experiencing sensitivity. So, and if you just use it on the affected area, you now can leave it as it is. Give it about 1 to 2 minutes in between so it can absorb before heading into maybe your moisturizer or during daytime your sunscreen. But again, if you want to use it over the entire face, maybe your neck as well, use a bit more, so about a pea size to a bean size amount. Then rub it between your fingers and then blend it all over. Now when it comes to the eye contour, you may be able to tolerate it on the eye contour. Do not bring it too close to the lower lash line, otherwise you may get it into your eyes. Do not use it on top of your eyelids, and please be careful around your lips as well. But generally speaking, if you have no issues on the eye contour, you can use it on the eye contour. If you experience sensitivity, leave it out. So, and once you have applied it, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off again. Now you can follow with a moisturizer if you should feel the need, and this would be the next step. I'm now going to go with a moisturizer to show you how you can layer it. However, it's completely fine to leave it as it is. Just again, remember during daytime to work with sunscreen. So I have one example right here of Geek & Gorgeous Hydration Station moisturizer. That's a very lightweight one. So if you're planning on working with a moisturizer, use a lightweight one that does not clog your pores. Especially if you have an oilier skin type, then you may want to use the gel on its own. You do not necessarily feel the need of working with a moisturizer, but nonetheless, if you're working with a moisturizer, you prefer it that way, then you are going to use it on top of the blemish control gel. So, and once you have applied your moisturizer, that's the last step in your evening skincare routine, and this is where you can stop. And so I want to keep my main focus towards an evening skincare routine because, again, this would be my recommendation. This is how I personally like to work with exfoliating acids, and there you have it. So again, remember to keep the frequency in mind. This is very individual, so start off slowly so that you can properly figure it out and avoid irritation. Now, I do hope that you enjoyed this video, that you find it helpful. If you did so, please don't forget to give the thumbs up as well as share it. And if you want to learn more about skincare or maybe some CeraVe products, I'm going to leave some of the videos at the end of this video, or go ahead and check out my YouTube channel for more content. And I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring. Bye.